BP reported success today in its effort to end the Gulf oil spill once and for all. That word came 107 days after the crisis began. Political leaders welcomed the news, but Gulf Coast residents were willing only to wait and see. After a series of failed attempts to stem the flow of oil gushing from the Macondo well, officials said the latest effort, the static kill, appears to be working. Crews pumped in heavy mud for 8 hours overnight, and early today, BP reported the well had reached a static condition with the pressure under control. A few hours later, President Obama expressed his relief.
It was very welcome news when we learned overnight that efforts to stop the well through what's called a static kill appear to be working, and that a report out today by our scientists show that the vast majority of the spilled oil has been dispersed or removed from the water. So the long battle to stop the leak and contain the oil is finally close to coming to an end.
Administration officials later said 74% of the more than 200 million gallons that leaked has either evaporated or been dispersed or collected. That would still leave 50 million gallons or more in the Gulf, about 5 times the size of the 1989 Exxon Valdez spill. Jane Lubchenco heads the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration.
I think the bottom line here is that we can account for all but about 26%, and of that, much of that is being in the process of being degraded and cleaned up on the shore.
But the estimate was met with skepticism by many in the Gulf region. Charter boat captain Ryan Lambert spoke with the NewsHour's Tom Bearden in Burris, Louisiana.
We're talking about 40 million gallons of oil that's unaccounted for, at least. That's we were getting 5,000 barrel estimates at first, then it went to God only knows what. I mean, the whole thing has been about perception from day one. It puts a lack of trust in my mind right off.
You just don't believe BP?
I don't believe any of them. I don't like, it looks to me like there's too chummy a relationship between the government and them and the cleanup and the whole thing.
That kind of suspicion was also evident elsewhere today.
We don't think after 3 months of oil spilling in the Gulf that it capped for 2 weeks. It's all better.
It gives some people the idea that everything's okay, so BP can leave, everything's done and over with.
Back in Washington, the president and his aides reiterated that recovery and restoration will continue until the job is done.
There's a lot of reasons why there's no mission accomplished banner, because there's a lot of work to do. We're not leaving the area, and more importantly, we're not leaving behind any commitment to clean up the damage that's been done and repair and restore the Gulf.
Meanwhile, the use of chemical dispersants to dissolve the oil came in for Senate scrutiny. At a hearing, Assistant EPA Administrator Paul Anastas said his agency had a tough decision to make.
The long-term effects on aquatic life are still significantly unknown. But what we do know right now is this. We see that the dispersants are working to help keep the oil off our precious shorelines and away from sensitive coastal ecosystems.
Anastas said EPA had not found the dispersants to be excessively toxic, but he emphasized that more testing and monitoring must be done.